Ready whenever you are.
I've got the recording started.
You're recording right now?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right, so start this. Okay, so my name is Troy, and today I will be arguing for the fact that cats are better than dogs. So, dogs, they are good animals, they are, but they're pretty stupid. Let's be real here. We all know a bunch of stories about how dogs get into some really, really interesting situations that really make us question their intelligence and their place as man's best friend. Um, Cats are very smart animals. They are very self-sufficient and will take care of themselves. They're not ones that need a whole lot of attention from their owners. And so, because of that, they're very low maintenance. Cats are incredibly smart, right? So we talk about cats as hunting animals. They'll sometimes bring their owners like different things to show them that they care about them or that they're providing a service to their owner, and that's one of the biggest things. Dogs are fat and lazy and sit around the house because personally I have a dog that is fat and lazy and sits around the house. Um, Another thing, cats in general are less expensive. Looking at how much I pay for my dog's food, a month supply, and I have a small dog. A month supply of food is close to $100, easily. Whereas my aunt, who has a cat, spends maybe $30 every month on the amount of food that it requires for her cat. Another thing is comparing groomers. So with dogs, you have to take them to get bathed, you have to get their nails clipped. Ear infections are a big thing that can happen with dogs too. Those are all expenses that add up over time, especially if or when that happens to dogs over and over again. It's not just like, oh, we take care of the problem and then everything is all good. Usually, the things with dogs are recurring. Cats might have an incident every once in a while, but it's not a recurring thing. And then with that too, cats, if you have a cat that's very fluffy, you might take him to a groomer to get shaved, but that's very inexpensive compared to the cost it would be for a dog to be at a groomer. Okay, it's 3 minutes. So 1 minute cross examination.
Alright, so one of the arguments is that dogs are stupid and cats are smart, right?
You're right now. You're really really quiet. I don't know if that's affecting. Okay, go
Alright,
again.
so one of your arguments was that dogs are stupid and that cats are smart, right?
Hmm.
You back that up with cat self-sufficiency and
Hmm.
laziness, right? And then another one of your arguments was that cats are less expensive overall than dogs, and that they also bring their owners things. They hunt and bring their owners things.
Hmm.
Alright. Okay.
Good. And then now you get 1 minute to prepare.
So, to argue that your point that dogs are stupider than cats, I'd like to bring up the point that dogs actually know language better than cats. They can learn simple commands and they can actually, there was a study done where they like taught dogs terms, and then when they asked the dog could actually like respond to them. Like if they asked to pick up the green ball, they would go to the green ball versus the red ball. And so they were actually able to learn commands and learn communication. And also, there's a dog from TikTok named Bunny who has a format with different buttons that have different words, and she's able to form full sentences with these buttons and respond to her owner with both sentences, having that communication. Whereas cats don't do that. They're either unable to learn the communication or they just don't want to. And along with that, dogs are trainable. They can You can take them to a trainer and they can learn to be surface animals. They can learn to detect bombs, they detect drugs. They have all these different jobs that they're able to learn, whereas cats don't, and they can't be. Like, they can be emotional support animals, but they can't be service animals like dogs can. And then also your point of dogs being lazy because you have a lazy dog. In a study done by the Journal of Psychology and Nursing and Mental Health Services, they actually say that dogs promote more healthy lifestyles for the patients there because they need to be taken on walks. So they get their owners to like work out more through that way. So they actually promote healthier lifestyles than cats do. And then cats bring their owners things. This is true, but dogs show their affection in different ways than cats. They get more excitable when you come home. They jump up on you. They cuddle with you. They lick your face to show you that they love you. So they don't bring you things necessarily like cats do to show you their love, but they do other things to show you that they love you. And then, yeah. Also, though dogs do have more expensive medical bills, cats have other things that you need to buy other than their food. You have to buy their toys. You have to buy their litter. You have to buy their food. And then their food is going to be about the same for like a small dog versus a small cat. Whereas a bigger dog, yes, they will have more expensive food.
20.
All right. Is that 3 minutes?
Yep, it just got.
Cool.
Okay. Now it is 1 minute cross-examination. Okay. I'll keep this pretty short because I pretty much got everything that you said. But you said basically dogs are smart because they understand human speech a little bit better. They're more trainable, so they can do different things. They promote a healthy lifestyle, and although they might not show love from bringing their owners things, they show it in different ways, which basically, in a sense, would be better by showing them more affection and personally, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, 1 minute preparation time. Honestly, I don't really need to prepare. I'm good to go. Okay. So we'll do right now 2 minute constructive. Okay. So one of your things was talking about how dogs know language better, human language better, so they respond to it. So here's the thing with that. In many studies done in psychology, especially with dogs, it's really, really debated whether they actually understand the language or are a product of classical conditioning. So classical conditioning, think about how you train dogs most of the time. Do this, get a treat. Do that, get a treat. Is it really them understanding the word, or is it them saying, okay, every time this pops up, I get a treat? So, or every time I do this, I get a treat. And that is word for word classical conditioning. So I wouldn't really say that that is them understanding it. I think it's just they would be conditioned better. Cats don't, and this is the thing, cats don't need to communicate. They don't need to be told what to do because they are self-sufficient. Um, Having to train a dog is a much more time-consuming task than it would be to train a cat because cats don't really need to be trained. Uh, Next, you said they promote a healthy lifestyle. Um, I don't agree with that. So me, my brother, my sister, my mom, we all work out all the time. We pride ourselves on being a pretty healthy family. I can't tell you the last time we took our dog out for a walk. And I know that sounds terrible, but honestly, she's very lazy. And while we're at the gym and doing all our thing, she literally will just sit here. I mean, she's literally right here laying down. She woke up and now she's laying down again. Um, so if anything, I think she makes us more lazy. The last thing that you were going to say, or that you said, was about the toys and the litter and all that. Um, the the toys, you have to buy both toys. The litter, you're right. Litter's an expense. But dogs, if they poop outside, one time we forgot to clean it up. It ruined our gardener's lawnmower, and we actually had to pay for the lawnmower. So that expense was much, much higher than litter every once in a while. Okay, that's it.
All right.
Okay, so it's just 1 minute for you to prepare.
All right. I think I'm ready.
Perfect.
And then it's the rebuttal, right? Yeah. Wait, no, constructive. Sorry.
And then I'll do rebuttal, you do rebuttal.
Okay. So, your point of you having a lazy dog who just lies around, sleeps, gets up, sleeps again, can be argued though, because I have a cat. He sleeps all day. He'll move from the couch to his little like perching nest, and then back to the couch, and then to a bed. That's all he does all day, all night. And so, but whereas my dog, she gets up and plays. We have to take her on walks, which is typically true for bigger dogs, whereas you have a smaller dog, so it's not as necessary. But for our big dogs, they need the exercise to keep them healthy. And so we have to do that. She loves to play. She brings us her toys all the time, and she runs around the house. And especially for people that live in smaller houses, though, they also have to take out their dogs, which promotes them being healthier, because their dogs can't just go out into the backyard and be fine. They have to take them, especially if they live in an apartment complex, condos, or things like that, which promotes healthier lifestyles for them and the dogs. And then for your response to the classical conditioning, that wouldn't really be applicable in like my case of Bunny on TikTok, where she forms full sentences by herself without being prompted and is able to understand the responses she gets. Although they are simple worded sentences, she is able to understand and know which sentences to ask and which buttons to press that way, which isn't classical conditioning because she's not being treated or given a treat for it. She just knows how to do that.
Okay. 1 minute for me to prepare and then rebuttal. Honestly, I don't even need the minute. I can do my rebuttal right now. So 1.5 minutes. Okay. So you basically what I said about how my dog was lazy. You flipped it on me and said essentially that you have a very lazy cat who kind of sits around the house all day, where your dog is the opposite. Your dog gets up, plays, runs around the house, all that kind of stuff, right? So I look at that a different way. I would say that your cat isn't lazy, it's self-sufficient. There isn't any, it does what it needs to do. It gets the exercise that it needs to get on its own, and it doesn't take up much of your time. Your dog, on the other hand, as you stated, it runs around the house, it brings you toys, it constantly wants to play. So when I hear that, I would say that your dog seems to be very high maintenance, and it will take a lot out of you, and a lot of your own personal time. So here's the thing, not everybody has that kind of time. Everybody loves dogs. So, obviously, yes, you could easily say, well, if you don't have the time, don't buy a dog. People love dogs. People will always be buying dogs. But at the end of the day, not everybody has the time to have a dog be that is that needy and needs to be with them all the time. Um, the last thing with Bunny that you were mentioning. So although whatever is shown on social media now might seem like she forms words and all that, literally that can take that it can be classical conditioning that they have just done for such a long time that she now understands that and is able to do those things. So I would still argue that dogs don't really understand; they just can be conditioned better. Okay, that's it. Okay, so you get a
And
minute
then,
to prepare and then rebuttal, and that's the final thing.
okay, we're good to go. All right, so to bring it back, yes, dogs are are not as self-sustaining as cats or self-efficient, but keeping your dogs healthy and being able to walk them and doing these things for them, yes, it is time consuming, but it does keep them healthy. It keeps you healthy and it shows your affection towards them. And in response to that affection, they will give you that affection back. They will be excited when you come home as if you've been gone for like years. They will lick your face. They will want to cuddle with you. They want to play with you because it shows that they love you, whereas cats don't do that. And then dogs are very smart. They are able to be trained to do these jobs, whereas cats, yes, they don't need to be trained because they know how to take care of themselves, but they would need extensive training to be able to sniff out drugs or a bomb, whereas dogs have that like just kind of natural thing where they are able to be trained easier, and that's why we do train dogs instead of cats. There's a reason that all these jobs are had by dogs rather than done by cats. And then to end it off, dogs are just all around better because they love you. They show their love more than cats. And like by you giving them the love and affection they need, they will give it back to you.